This is the Pocket 4P, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. Psych. I'm gonna tell you guys everything. I just got this yesterday. I am in the US. I'm in Rockford, Illinois. I got this new shirt for 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. We're also on the Pocket 4 right now, guys, shooting D-Log. We got a DJI Mic Mini 2 because I can change the color, and today I'm rocking blue for America. Yeah, so real quick, I'm gonna get right to it. I got this thing on eBay, just like I got the Pocket 4. I just ordered it. They have a ton of them. You just type in Pocket 4P and you'll see all of them. They're ranging anywhere from like $800 to like $1,200 or something like that, depending on the package that you get. I got the standard package for this. I don't need all the rest of the stuff because I already have DJI mics. I already have everything else. The only thing I needed to get was ND filters, which I'll show you what I got here in a little bit. I ordered it on eBay. I paid $800. It was like listed for $820 or $50 or something like that. But I ended up paying like $930 for it with tax and shipping and all that stuff. It said that the listing said it had no US tariffs on it. I'm pretty sure they're probably built into the price already anyways. I knew I was gonna pay more for it, and I'm happy paying, you know, $900 for this thing. I use this for work, guys. I make a living off of cameras and making videos. So to me, this is a great tool for my content creation clients, and that's why I picked it up. So it's totally worth it. One job will pay for probably 3 of these things, so it's not a big deal for me. If you're just doing it as a hobby, I can see how $800, $900 is a lot of money to pay for this thing, especially when you can, you know, if you live in Canada or Mexico or any other place besides the US, you can pick it up. Probably, I think the retailing price I hear is like $550 or $500 or $600, somewhere around those lines. So yeah, you're gonna pay an extra like probably $300 for one of these if you really want one. And if you're a professional, you'll totally understand where I'm coming from in terms of like, if it's worth it for you, only you know that. So you decide that. If you're rich, you could just buy it. If you saved up money and you really want it, then just buy it, okay? That's up to you. It came in pretty fast. I would say it took like a week to get from China. The seller is IO Mall Shop. I'll put it right here. That's the seller that I got it from. It was completely different than the one I got from the Pocket 4, but most of them, as long as they have 99.9 ratings, look at the reviews, make sure people are reporting back saying, hey, this guy's legit, you're pretty much safe. I've never had any bad like things happen with eBay in terms of getting scammed or anything like that. So I went ahead, I purchased it. It said it was gonna take about 15 days to get to me, but it came here in a week. So the tracking was a little weird. That's the thing that it didn't scare me, but I was like, oh, maybe I got scammed. It worked for about 4 days, and then after that, like the tracking just stopped working. It wasn't reporting back or anything. Then I got a random USPS label after that, and then that wasn't updating. It still hasn't updated. And then yesterday, the Pocket 4P just showed up in my doorstep. So yeah, it was really weird. I was expecting to get this July 13th, but it came in early. I'm super happy. We're gonna be using this today in like a vlog for the first time, which will be the next video after this one. But so far, just walking around the house and outside and playing with this thing, like I said, the weight is a little bit heavier. It is top heavy. They do come in the standard package with a little DJI wrist strap, which I'm really glad it came with it because the Pocket 4 did not come with it, but you can get a pack of wrist straps super cheap on Amazon. So I wasn't too worried about it. And honestly, it's the exact same quality of wrist strap. It's nothing crazy, except this one just has DJI on it, and I really like that. So make sure you wear that because it is top heavy. And this camera feels very solid, guys. So if you are a professional content creator, showing up with this is gonna, I feel like, to me, is gonna give me a little boost of confidence. Not that I had a problem with the Pocket 4, but it is small. It's just small, and you're like, what am I looking at? Like sometimes my clients had a hard time looking at the Pocket 4P, especially when I was filming them like this, because they could see like my face for the most part. Not that this is gonna cover my face, but it's a lot bigger. It's something much bigger to lock on when you're talking to a camera, especially for like clients, if you do this for client work. This, showing up with this just looks a lot more professional, and this is way more compact than carrying around my C50 with a gimbal or any of the mirrorless cameras. So I'm so happy I got this. I've been wanting that extra zoom, the extra lens, and that's really the main reason why you want to get this. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but in the simplest way I can explain this is that this is just a Pocket, I don't want to say just, this is a Pocket 4P with a 3x zoom on it. Okay, that's it. The menus are the same, the body is the same, everything is the same in terms of internal microphones and all that good stuff. Now, when it comes to D-Log 2, that is only available on the 1X sensor, because that's the new sensor. That's the 1-inch sensor. But the problem is that when you put the camera on, when you go to the Pro menu and you put the camera on D-Log 2, it disables the other camera, the 3X. So you cannot use the other camera. And here's another thing. You cannot use digital zoom. You're stuck at 1X. Like, that's just a prime 20 millimeter, 2.0 or 1.8, whatever the lens is. You're stuck at that focal length. So you're not able to zoom in at all. So that's it. So if you want to film D-Log 2, that's all you get. You cannot do any sort of zooming. I'm not going to be using D-Log 2. I'll put some footage. We'll record a little walking around vlog around here and we'll compare it, like D-Log versus D-Log 2. The difference is barely anything. I did a little test yesterday downstairs, but now that I'm outside, I want to test it out a little bit more with like natural light. It is cloudy today, a little gloomy, but I'm just going to film something for you guys. And I don't think D-Log 2 is worth, yes, it's good. And it is a little bit better than D-Log, but D-Log is amazing. I haven't had a problem with it. You're looking at D-Log right now, and I really, really love that DJI finally put D-Log, like an actual log file on these cameras. That's the whole reason why I got the 4P. And if you're looking at getting the 4P or the Pocket 4, D-Log should be the main reason why you're getting it, and for the color grading. Other than that, I would just stick to the Pocket 3, use standard color profile if that's all you're using, but that's pretty much it. The standard package also came with the little cover, so it's like the standard cover that comes on these lenses. There's nothing to it. It's just a clear lens cover that goes on here. To take these off, you just spin it and you pull it out. It's pretty easy. ND filters, go on there, you lock it in, you spin it. I didn't expect this to come with the camera, but you do get the Osmo Lite with it. And I'm actually more excited about this than any other thing, because I was thinking about purchasing this separately. And for like my weddings, I'll usually film like dancing photos, and I often carry like an MC Amaran light on my hand, and then I'm filming like this. Obviously that has a little bit more power, but I was surprised how powerful this little light is. And it's got a little diffuser on it. It's got two buttons on the top. One is for the brightness and the other one's for the Kelvin white balance or whatever on it. But yeah, this just magnetizes on there super quick like that. And then it's on, and it's really bright, really bright. So I was walking around the house yesterday with it, and it's really cool. I'm very excited that this came with the standard package, because that's all I wanted. I already had the DJI mics. So the cool thing too is that this works with the Pocket 4. So I can also mount it on the Pocket 4 and use it to vlog with it, or film stuff. And it's cool. It gives you that like camcorder feel with it. I think that's a really cool feature. I did not get the little remote with it, or the creator combo with the little remote. Maybe I'll buy that in the future, but I feel like DJI kind of rushed that on us. I feel like it was just like a quick like comeback at Luna, because Luna has a detachable screen, and that's kind of cool. So I just feel like DJI was just like, oh, we need to like get a detachable screen, and they were probably like, hey, what about that screen that we had for the gimbal? Let's use that and just make it, do a firmware and then just have it connect to it, and they'll use it. And I don't think it was well thought of. So I think it was just already a product that they had, and they just grabbed it off the shelf, and they're like, all right, let's just make it work with it. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick it up later on. I don't know. For me, it just doesn't work for me right now, and I don't mind using my cell phone if I ever need to like remotely get a shot or whatever. Let me show you what I got for NDs. All right, so I did end up picking up a pack of the Freewell NDs, and these are for the Pocket Pro. I think they're calling it the Pro, but the packaging for Freewell NDs is really nice. So you get, right now I have an ND already. You get 6 slots in there, so that way you can put the standard lens right here. you get ND 8, 16, 32, 64. Shooting D-Log on Pocket 4, I know that ND64 is probably the one I'm going to use the most, but it's nice to have an ND8 and a 16 for some of those indoor situations where you're just a little bit too bright and you want to stop down a little bit, or like a cloudy day like today, like ND16 might be the best. Right now we have ND64 on the Pocket 4, and I'm going to have to up the exposure in post-production, but that's not a big deal. I'd rather save the highlights on log footage. So anyways, again, other than that, guys, this is just a Pocket 4 with the 3X. And if you're getting the Pocket 4P, I think it should be just for that 3X feature. That's really the only reason why I wanted it. I wanted that extra zoom lens on there. And shooting D-Log allows you to use the full range. Both cameras, you can go from 1X to 3X to 12X, 6, 2, and all that good stuff that you've already seen on the videos. But it's pretty cool. So I'm going to be shooting this thing strictly D-Log. I don't have a problem with it. Plus, I have the Pocket 4, which is going to be my B cam, and shooting D-Log is just going to match perfectly. D-Log 2 is great, but until they add it to both cameras, which I don't think it's going to ever be possible because I think it's a sensor thing. The new sensor is able to get D-Log 2, but the other sensor, I believe it's the Pocket 4 sensor, honestly, and it can only do D-Log, which is great, guys. I have no issues with D-Log. I just can't imagine how much more D-Log 2 can be, but D-Log has amazing dynamic range. I have no issues with it. So know that if you're thinking you're gonna shoot D-Log throughout the whole range, it's not possible. You only get 1X, not even 2, nothing. So take that for however you want. Get this because it has the 3X zoom on it, and it does feel and look just more professional. It's got a little bit more weight to it, and just the size is pretty good. I'm super excited to do this. I'm gonna go out today. It is 4th of July, so I'm gonna go out and vlog the fireworks on this thing today. It's gonna be awesome. But let me show you guys some D-Log 2 footage, and we'll compare it real quick. We have ND8 right now installed, but let's turn this on. I will say one more thing too. If you guys use internal microphone, there is a feature that I really love. It's called audio zoom and voice boost. Voice boost, that works on everything, but audio zoom, for when you zoom up or you do 2X zoom or whatever and you point it at a subject, it somehow focuses the audio on whatever that area is. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a shotgun mic. I talked about it on another video, but you get to focus on the audio, and I really love that feature. I've gotten used to it with the Pocket 4 for my clients, and when you shoot in D-Log 2, that is not even available. So you get that feature off as well. So just know that. Other than that, everything stays the same. You can still track, you can do all the other things. Bummer on that. So anyways, let's switch over to the Pocket 4P, guys. All right, guys, we are on the Pocket 4P now. If you're wondering why this looks a little bit brighter, is because we do have ND8, and I think that's the proper ND for today's lighting. I had a ND64 on the Pocket 4 there, so it was definitely underexposed. I'm gonna try to match the footage as best as possible in terms of exposure, but just take that into consideration. We are shooting D-Log right now. It looks just as good as my Pocket 4. We are on the standard lens. Let's go here and do a 3X zoom. Boom. Dang, look at that. That lens looks crazy. Here, let's mount it so I can walk away from it. So there is obviously a little shift there, if you can see. All right, guys, here is the 3X zoom. As you can see, we got some beautiful background blur. I'm monitoring here on the phone. It looks really good on the phone, honestly. This is crazy. Like, what if I had like a person right here and I was doing like interview setup, so like talking to you guys like this. This is pretty cool. All right, guys, here is the Pocket 4P at 3X zoom, D-Log. I think D-Log looks awesome. Yeah, we get that background blur. Look at this, like, I'm gonna step back a little bit. What do you guys think? Let's do a little tracking. I don't know how to do the tracking, but I gotta go tap. Maybe I can tap here. Does that track it? No, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But yeah, this is what it looks like, 3X zoom. So it looks like when you go to 3X, there is an exposure change, which makes sense because the 1-inch sensor is the new one and it has all the dynamic range or whatever, and the other one doesn't. So here, but if we're shooting D-Log, it should be the same. But as you guys can see here, I have my hand all like stretched out because this 3X is pretty tight, but it does get brighter. Here, let's turn this around. So see, exposure, I'm gonna go back to 1, and then it drops a little bit. It's not too bad. I'm wondering if there's 2 menus, like one for 3X and one for 1X, because they're 2 separate sensors. Maybe that's what needs to happen. We need to have an extra menu and set like your exposure EVs and stuff for the 2 different sensors, because like I said, it's 2 different cameras. Maybe that's something that needs to be updated later on, but it's not a big deal for me, honestly. Like I'll just adjust it in post anyways, but that's something that's happening that I just found out right now. Let's switch over to D-Log 2 and see if there's a difference. I'm gonna have the sky behind me for some dynamic range. And we'll film over here. And let's switch over to D-Log 2. All right, guys, here is D-Log 2. I just found out that when you are in D-Log 2, you can't set auto ISO for some reason. You have to do it manually, like straight up manual, like professional. You have to set 100, 200, 300. You do get that 100 ISO, so you do get a little bit more wiggle room in bright scenarios because you have that, you know, you can go down as far as 100. So the highest ISO is 3200 for D-Log 2 from what I'm seeing here. And like I said, if you're vlogging, that's gonna suck because I have mine to set full range ISO in auto. So when I'm vlogging and I go from dark to light, I have all that wiggle room to adjust brightness or to let the camera adjust the brightness. But I can already see, I guess, a little bit of dynamic range because I can see the details in the sky now. I can see the clouds. So there is a lot more dynamic range. I'm gonna have to admit that on D-Log 2 from what I'm seeing here. It could also be that I'm properly exposing it and maybe I needed a stronger ND and then ND8, maybe ND16 is what I needed. So let's switch over to ND16 and see if we can get that sky back on regular D-Log. But so far, let me go in a different area. So far, D-Log 2 seems to be looking pretty good. It's not gonna be good for vlogging because you're gonna have to always set your ISO manually, and if you're vlogging, you guys know that we're always moving. So oh shoot, got rain on me. Yeah, you're always moving, so having that adjustable ISO really helps with NDs and stuff like that. It's already hard enough to put an ND on this, and like twisting it, taking it off, twisting the other one, it's not as fast as just slapping it on there like the magnetic ones. I think the Luna is magnetic, so I guess that's a plus for the Luna because it's just a magnet, and this one you got to lock it in. It takes a little bit more time. It is more of a professional, I guess, style camera than vlogging, but that's what you got to deal with. And then you obviously adjusting ISO manual. Now, if you use the camera in full auto, then that's not going to be an issue for you. All right, guys, I switched the ND to ND16 now, and I want to see if we can get some of that sky back. It looks like the sky is totally back. I can see the clouds now. So it's just that I had the wrong ND exposure on there. So we have the clouds back. I do look a little bit darker on here. So I will say D-Log, in terms of looking at it on the screen right now, there is more information or more, it recovers more. There's more dynamic range. So it looks like the 17 stop thing is pretty true unless they're using some sort of like HDR effect or something like that. But now you can see the sky. So this is ND16. I think I just had the wrong ND. I think it was too bright for ND8 was too bright for today. So anyways, that's about it, guys. I hope that answers your question. Like I said, there's nothing new. It's literally the Pocket 4 with 3x zoom. You can't use D-Log 2 unless it's just 1x. You have to adjust the ISO manually. You can't have auto ISO unless you shoot full auto. So that's a downside to that. You can't really vlog like that. It's more of like, hey, if you want to do like a static shot and have control of your ISO manually and set it, then that's what you got to deal with if you want the 17 stops of dynamic range. But D-Log, guys, don't sleep on D-Log. It's amazing. It looks great. There isn't a problem with it, honestly. D-Log 2 is a little bit better, and yeah, until The next camera, I hope that they put 2 sensors in there that can take D-Log 2. That will make it amazing, and I'll definitely be getting that. But I'm happy with this camera. This camera is for, I think, professional creators that are know how to use cameras and want that 3x zoom and want to take advantage of D-Log 2 if you are in a controlled environment and you don't care about the zoom, all that good stuff. I'm really happy. I highly recommend it. If you want to get one in America, you're going to have to pay $200 to $300 more on eBay, and as long as you look for a seller that's 99.9%, you look at the reviews, you should be pretty good. Mine came in about a week. I'm super happy with it. The light is the favorite, my favorite feature besides the 3X, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what these big creators are gonna say to you guys in terms of like things that they need to leak out. That's pretty much it. I didn't know or see anything different than what I just told you in this video. So anyways, happy 4th of July, everybody. Leave me some questions in the comments and let me know what you think about the Pocket 4P.